never seen an Illinois State team wear this gray color before, as we're tipped off, and it's going to go Illinois State's way. Moving the ball around the perimeter, that's Bowman. Maya Wong puts the ball on the floor, feeds it inside. Cassidy Harden defending, but unable to stop. Great play by Deanna Wilson.
And Wilson was wide open there in the paint. Harden got late over there, recovering on the help defense.
And here are the Boilermakers for their first offensive possession. Janae Terry up at the top of the key. Feeding it over to Harden. Feet set, lets it fly. And no dice off the rim. Illinois State pushing transition. Paige Robinson. That's Wong on the opposite side. Feeding it inside. Wilson. Onto the near sideline, cutting in, putting up, and getting it to go is Paige Robinson.
And once again, you saw the Boilermaker defense a little out of sorts there. Robinson had the ball wide open in the far corner. Boilermaker defense having to adjust.
And a second one let fly, but off the back iron. Rebound by Laisha Petrie going in off the side of the backboard. And it's been a rough offensive stretch here for the Boilermakers. 0 for 3 to kick things off. Janae Terry feeds it in. Caitlin Harper wide open, finishes with the right hand.
And that was textbook pick and roll there. Caitlin Harper and Janae Terry. And if you're open, Janae Terry is going to find you on the court. And there she did.
Mary Crompton, excellent pass across. Ball kicked out, swung around. Paige Robinson lets it fly, but can't get it to go. That's going to be Purdue basketball.
Yeah, and Robinson couldn't find the bottom of the net on that attempt, but really good ball movement and really good sets here from Illinois State in the first 2 minutes of this game, getting a lot of open looks and getting Paige Robinson some shots here early.
There's Abby Ellis, the only unusual starter out of this group here for the Boilermakers. Movement around the outside, double screen on the left, pass to Petrie, driving into the middle, kicks it out to Terry. Backs it down, kicks it across. Ellis from the corner. And an unforgiving rim sends that one out as Illinois State leads it 4-2, pushing here. Maya Wong driving in, feeds it into the low post, but a little too hot to handle for Deanna Wilson. But off a Boilermaker, that's going to be Redbird basketball.
And I like the pace that Illinois State is playing with. They get the rebound, they push the ball up the court. Maya Wong doing a great job of dictating the pace of this game early on.
And speaking of Wong, inbounding the ball here. Deep to Robinson. My apologies, that's Crompton. Now to Robinson. Feeding it inside, Deanna Wilson, and she has committed a traveling violation. And that's going to be Purdue basketball and the first turnover for the Redbirds.
Wilson trying to back down Caitlin Harper, and Harper is such a good defender in the post. Not only can she score in the post, can also defend very well, and right there forcing Wilson into the travel.
Laisha Petrie, bit of a miscommunication there between her and Caitlin Harper. Going to result in the Boilermaker turnover. Also their first of the day.
I think Purdue just looks a little rushed here, Charlie, in the early going. Laisha Petrie trying to fire that one into Caitlin Harper. The defense was there trying to get a tough angle at it, and she couldn't work.
And another traveling violation here by the Redbirds. That's going to be Purdue basketball. And, David, you have to wonder if perhaps part of Purdue feeling a little out of sorts is that this isn't the normal personnel for them.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Like I said, Abby Ellis, she has starting experience. She started a lot of games for this team last year, and while there was a good amount of turnover on this team from last year, she's a player that knows Katie Gerald's system, and Katie Gerald has confidence in her to execute the plays.
And you're going to see great cut there by Ellis. Terry, of course, finds her. Walking around inside, and a takeaway by the Redbirds, pushing in transition, 3-on-4. And that's going to be a jump ball. Laisha Petrie able to get her hands in there, and that's going to go Purdue's way.
Crompton's got to slow things down there. You can see she regrets taking that ball in and going as fast as she did. You got to slow things down when you're in transition like that.
Janae Terry operating the point. Gets the ball to Ellis on the near sideline. There's Petrie to Harden. Janae Terry down in the far corner. Terry dives in, gets it up, and a beautiful kiss off the glass goes for Janae Terry. Here's Maya Wong. Feeding it inside, working that high post. Back to Mary Crompton. Double closing in. Gets it to Robinson. Paige Robinson feeds it. And a miscommunication again for Illinois State. That's going to be their 4th team turnover.
And you're seeing this 2-person trap in the half court for the Boilermakers. When that ball gets near the midcourt line, they're sending 2 people over and trapping the ball handler. You see Crompton all kind of trapped there by Harper and Janae Terry, and that kind of disrupted things. The flow on offense for the Redbirds wasn't quite there.
Here's Ellis. Feeding it inside. Harper back to the basket. Puts it on the ground. Back out. Swung over. Petrie lets it go, and just a bit long as Illinois State's going to try to push transition here. Mary Crompton. Robinson to Crompton. Feeding it inside. That's Wilson. And Deanna Wilson loses the basketball. That's going to be turnover number 5. Terry showing off the ball handling, gets it inside, and draws the foul. She'll be
constraints. We now move ahead in the action.
6 turnovers in their last 6 minutes of game time.
And for this Purdue team, Jayla Smith on the floor for the first time today. And they're going to say she stepped out of bounds over on this side. She tends to disagree, but often those who step out of bounds don't willingly acknowledge that they did.
I always like it when a play like that happens on the corner, their back foot steps out of bounds, the player looks over to the corner like the corner moved up or on him or something, or changed in proximity to their foot.
And looking back there like, hey, you stay there.
Yeah.
And a great take in, but not able to get it to go. Offensive rebound. Robinson puts it up. No foul. Pulled down, and there is a foul there. Great work on the offensive boards. And Deanna Wilson's going to be going to the line for 2.
I think in the cluster, Cassidy Harden may have got hit in the mouth a little bit. She put a hand up to her mouth there, and he saw some physical play down low. Ricky Woltman into the game for the Boilermakers. And not once, not twice, not 3 times, going back and drawing the foul.
And she cannot get the first one to go for the Redbird team at the line. And Wilson gets the second one to go. And there's going to be a substitution for the Boilermakers. Ava Learn entering for Janae Terry.
Terry checking out for the first time today. 5 points. Like we talked about earlier, not really someone who's always looking to score, but 5 points in the first quarter for Janae Terry. A good start for her scoring the basketball.
Abby Ellis feeds it to Learn at the top of the key. Screen on the outside. Cassidy Harden. Over to Ellis. Ellis looked inside, gets it over to Smith. In the hands, lets it go, and can't get it to fall. As Illinois State takes it across the half-court line. Diving down to the baseline, loses the ball, but brings it back. Jada Stinson cutting in as Tashana Wright-Gaskins able to get that one to go.
Yeah, and a nice-looking jump shot there from Wright-Gaskins, kissing it off the glass there with that mid-range J.
Ava Learn on the perimeter with Ricky Woltman working the post down low. Abby Ellis unable to get it to her, swinging it around. Cassidy Harden into the corner. Smith feeds it over to Woltman and gets the finish at the rim.
That's what Purdue's going to do with this lineup. They're going to attack inside. You have Ava Learn and Ricky Woltman both in the game. 2 of your premier post scorers aside from Caitlin Harper. They're going to look to get some looks inside.
And a great attempt doesn't go for Paige Robinson. Gets the rebound, and down it goes. Paige Robinson gets another bucket here. Over in the corner, that's Smith. From the Big Ten logo, passes it over to Cassidy Harden. Harden to Learn. Learn driving in, taking it up, and no foul called. A little bit of contact, but here's Illinois State 2 on 3. Leaves it for Robinson, lets it fly, and can't get it to go. Left that one short. And here the Boilermakers Abby Ellis seeking guidance from the bench before setting up the offense. 2 players low in the post, Woltman and Learn. Now switching to a low-high with Smith and Harden spacing the floor out. 13 seconds, a 2-second difference between the shot and game clock. Here's Ellis, kicks it over to Harden. Harden, jab step, cutting in, loses the basketball, but they're going to call that one a foul. It's going to give Purdue the basketball with 3 seconds left and 1 second on the shot clock under the basket.
And they'll turn that shot clock off now with the call of the foul. So Purdue will have just one last chance for one more shot.
Quick adjustments being made for the inbound play. Laisha Petrie coming in for the Boilermakers. Jasmine McGinnis-Taylor and Kate Bowman going to be checking in for the Redbirds, assuming they're playing some good defense here. Here's Ellis looking around, gets it to Petrie, and she gets fouled on the way up with 2 2/10 to go. She'll be going to the free throw line for 2.
And it works out because Laisha Petrie got fouled, but I think kind of a quick shot there for the Boilermakers. You have 3.3 seconds. That's enough time for, a dribble, maybe an attacking move to try and get closer to the basket. But Petrie draws the foul and she'll have a chance to get to it at the line.
And Petrie gets the first one to go. An experienced vet, she probably knew that a foul was coming there and went up with it, but certainly very early in the shot clock, or the clock for certain, as she gets the second to fall, expanding the Purdue lead to 2. 2 seconds here. Illinois State content to dribble it out, as that'll take us to the end of our first quarter of action here today. It's a tight one.
And a narrow first quarter there, Charlie. Both these teams trying to get back on track, and Katie Gerald's her second year as the head coach of the Boilermakers program, trying to will her team to pull away in the second quarter.
And Paige Robinson says, not so fast. I'm going to hit a little short jump shot here as we are knotted up at 13. The crew coming out for the Boilermakers. Abby Ellis kicks it over to Smith. Jayla Smith gets her own rebound. Can't get it to go. And a little bit of a rough stretch on the block there as Paige Robinson takes it up the court. That's Mary Crompton, lets it fly from way beyond the arc, and a high bounce off the rim, and no good.
That was a high arcing and a long shot with some serious power there from Crompton.
That's a bit of a heat check,
Yeah.
I believe they say. Here's Laisha Petrie on the near sideline. To the middle, over to Ellis. Ellis diving in. Little pivot, gets it to Smith. Up strong, but no dice. And Illinois State looking to capitalize as they've got numbers here in transition. Kicked out. Around the perimeter, this is Robinson. Gets it over to Wong. Inside and hit a brick wall there, Deanna Wilson. Feed over to Smith. Jayla Smith. Abby Ellis. Laisha Petrie. And they're going to say that she traveled, took off before she dribbled, and that's going to be a turnover for the Boilermakers.
Second turnover there from Laisha Petrie. We saw an errant pass trying to feed the post earlier to Caitlin Harper, and then right there, just a little bit, a stutter step, just slide step movement of that foot before she got going.
And the Boilermakers are going to bring it back to the majority of the starting lineup here to take on the Redbirds. Mary Crompton moving it around the perimeter. Robinson. A lot of movement inside. Mary Crompton. Great screen by Deanna Wilson. Crompton lets it go and can't get it to go. Left that one short. Here's Petrie pushing transition. Takes it in out to Harper. Faked him out. Around the outside, that's Harden. Janae Terry, the captain of the ship. Feeds it in, Caitlin Harper out to Cass Harden. Terry, shot clock at 5. Feeds it inside. Harper, post move, kicks it out. Terry just inside the three-point line. front iron and out, but she has her own rebound and finishes at the rim because of course she does. Janae Terry doing it all.
Yeah, like we said, Janae Terry scoring the rock more than usual today. Not really one to take jump shots. Saw that one was short, followed her own miss beautifully, and putting it up for the second chance points.
And unable to get that one to go was Wong. They try again. Robinson can't get it to go. And no made three-point shots so far today. And we got a foul called here. It's going to be an offensive foul on the Boilermakers. It's going to be Illinois State basketball.
Foul on Caitlin Harper there in transition, just trying to get set up in the post, looked like, knocking over Wilson.
And it's been exciting so far as Maya Wong from Normal, Illinois, same place as Illinois State, little hometown action. Feeds it in inside, and she lost the basketball, but Deanna Wilson refuses to go down, gets the jump ball. Laisha Petrie tied her up. And possession is going to give that one to the Boilermakers. Yeah, it's a bit slow to get action going again here.
Another serious scoring drought for the Redbirds. Over 3 minutes of game time with no baskets.
And Janae Terry looking to use that drought to expand a Boilermaker lead. Feeding it inside. Learn gets fouled going up. And you got to love the teamwork here coming in to help her up as she'll be going to the line for two.
Yeah, Ava Learn got hacked there by Paige Robinson. Physical play, both players going to the ground. See Laisha Petrie come over for the Boilermakers, help up Ava Learn.
Yeah, no dispute on if that one was a foul or not. And Learn gets the first one to go. She's been an 81.3% free throw shooter so far this season. And she gets the second to fall. And a quick substitution here for the Redbirds. Going to bring Mary Crompton back onto the court, taking out Paige Robinson. And full court pressure being applied here. Good press break shown here. Here's Amy Alsma. Wong's pulling it up very wide, letting a motion offense run inside. Gets a screen in the high post. Kicks it back out. That's Bowman. Nowhere to go. Back to the top. Lets it fly, and no good. That went off the hand of Abby Alsma. Janae Terry kicks it over to Harper. Harden lets it go and leaves it long as the three-point woes continue.
Yeah, both these offenses predicated on the three. As
move ahead in the action.
We kick off this second half here with the ball in the hands of Maya Wong. Paige Robinson. Mary Crompton. Trap closing in. Forcing the quick pass. Deanna Wilson kicks it out. Robinson driving. Back out. Deep three. And she gets it to go. Mary Crompton starting off Illinois State on a good note.
Crompton wanted a foul, too. Her second made three. And like we said, Charlie, you called it. Those three-pointers going to start falling at some point for both these teams.
And it looks like you're going to have a foul down at the other end. And Crompton is someone who's hit those threes a lot. 54% from three on the season. And you see it there? She lets you know. She made it. Here's Purdue feeding in. Ellis shot fake, kicked out. Harden to Ellis. Down the baseline. Cassidy Harden with the shot fake. Swings it to Ellis. Looking inside, but great defense. Laisha Petrie picks it up. Difficult shot, and she sinks it from behind the backboard. Illinois State wasting no time here in transition. Kate Bowman sends it over to Crompton. Mary Crompton to Bowman. Bowman for three, and she can't get it to go, but the offensive rebound from Deanna Wilson keeps the possession alive.
I think they'll call a foul on Laisha Petrie there. They will.
And she's trying to argue that she got her tied up, but no such luck on the jump ball. It's going to be a set piece here for Illinois State under the basket.
We've seen Petrie get into foul trouble sometimes in games this season, but only one foul in today's game for her.
Paige Robinson lets it fly from the mid-range, not able to get it, and Janae Terry's got the rebound. Pushing it, Harden, Petrie around the perimeter. Terry, Ellis cutting in, finds Harden outside, not letting that three fly. Normally she would, maybe not feeling it right now. Laisha Petrie calling for some movement. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Janae Terry, ball tipped away by Robinson, and she's going to be running the fast break. 1-on-2, pass across the middle, and Bowman. Excellent finish inside by Kate Bowman with the right hand.
That's a great job by Robinson, slowing up, letting her offense catch up to her. Bowman slicing in through the lane, and a nice dish off by Paige Robinson for the score inside.
Janae Terry orchestrating the offense here, playing the role of conductor. Gets a screen, ball over to Ellis. Lets it fly from just inside the three-point line, and Abby Ellis gets the scoring started here. As the Redbirds look to gain some traction here with the ball in the hands of Maya Wong. Out on the perimeter, Robinson. Driving in, Wong can't get it to go, and that's going to be a turnover. Stepped out of bounds, and it's Purdue basketball.
Yeah, Maya Wong scoreless today for the Redbirds at the point guard position.
Abby Ellis seems to be drawing things out. No pressure applied on her. Ball in Terry's hands. Sends Petrie across. Cassidy Harden. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Screen by Terry. Petrie has space. Shot fake. Feeds it under, and too long again for Caitlin Harper.
And it's been a struggle feeding the post for the Boilermakers. We see it again. Laisha Petrie trying to get inside. She was rushed by the expiring shot clock there, but just couldn't get a clean inside post entry to Caitlin Harper.
Caitlin Harper has made her only attempt inside, but they've done a great job of defending the front so they can't throw that over pass to her that Purdue loves to do, as this one's let go, but just short by Paige Robertson. And bringing the ball up the floor, Cassidy Harden. Janae Terry, they're going to try to lob it in there again to Harper, and they're not going to call that a foul. Bit of contact, good closeout, and it's going to be Illinois State ball under the basket.
That was a great job by Kate Bowman coming over and sealing off Caitlin Harper. There was a good pass there from Janae Terry, but Bowman reads it perfectly. Boom, right there. Kind of stop Harper from moving forward. Harper loses the handle and goes out of bounds.
Illinois State, a couple of good defensive possessions, trying to convert those into points here. So they trail it by 1. Ball outside, Mary Crompton. And they're going to call that a push on Cassidy Harden. It's her third foul.
Yeah, and Cassidy Harden really not liking that one. Her and Bowman collide. Bowman hits the deck. You see Harden may have got some contact to the face there. She'll check out.
Jayla Smith, as she has in the previous couple times, filling in for her. Wong, tough pass. Paige Robinson driving in, and great defense. Excellent block by Laisha Petrie, keeping the hands up, pushing transition. It's 4-on-3. Swung over. Smith going in, out to Ellis. She thought about it, decides not to. Kicks it across. Smith gets the screen from Woltman, lets it go, and leaves that one to the left. Redbirds pushing down the sideline, feeding it in. Shot fake up and no good, but a late whistle is going to send her to the line for 2, Deanna Wilson.
Ricky Wolman called for her first foul. Wilson will go to the line. See right there, Wolman biting on the pump fake. You see that right arm just kind of going over Wilson as she goes back up for the putback. So Illinois State with a chance to regain the lead here midway through the third quarter.
And not able to get that one. Here for Smith. My apologies, Wilson. Lets it go and sinks the second, about on par with her free throw percentage for the year, just under 70. As she splits them. Tie ball game. Abby Ellis to Janae Terry. Terry to Petrie. Petrie's going to let it go, and she sinks it from deep. Finally, the Boilermakers have made a three-point field goal.
Oh, and who else to do it than Laisha Petrie, one of the best scorers on this team. And that's a rush shot there from Illinois State.
And one that she left way short. As Abby Ellis goes inside to Smith. Ellis thinking about feeding it inside, gets it to Woltman. Gonna go single on her. Outside, Laisha Petrie. Back to the basket. Post move, up and under. Hook shot, can't get it to go, but she disrupts the ball. Woltman pulls it down for the rebound. Kicked over, Smith, feet set, lets it fly, and sinks it. Purdue gets the three-pointers to go.
Sometimes it just takes making one, seeing one go in, go through the bottom of the net to get a team going. Now Laisha Petrie and Jayla Smith going back-to-back from beyond the arc and getting the Boilermakers in the column from behind the arc.
Illinois State looking to get their first field goal in over 3 minutes, and they're not going to get it there. And ball went off of a Redbird. This is going to be a Purdue inbound, and Illinois State opting to talk this one over.
Hasn't quite had her usual day in the scoring column. Only 6 points for her today, 2 for 7 from the field, but getting her going will be instrumental for Illinois State to climb back in this game.
And Jayla Smith lost that one. It's been a bit of a tough stretch for her. Before that three-pointer, she had not scored against Maryland. It had been 2 games. Ball moving across. Paige Robinson to Mary Crompton. Illinois State's all-time three-point leader as well. Driving in, shot up, and left it short. Strong rebound by Ricky Woltman. Laisha Petrie over the top. And looked like a football receiver there. Janae Terry got the diamond hands and brought it in.
Back shoulder fade there.
And Purdue's looking for a new quarterback, so you never know. Feed inside, and Woltman unable to handle it. But they're going to say that it went off of Illinois State. It's going to be Purdue basketball.
And they'll need a new go-to receiver after Charlie Jones graduates here. And to some fellow sports programs for some talent here.
I think Zach Eady'd be a prime tight end as well if Payne Durham doesn't return. Ball coming in. Terry feeds it up. Over to her. She's got some space. Gives it to Smith. Feeding it inside. And great post defense again by Jasmine McGinnis-Taylor. Illinois State. Smith active hands on defense. Great fake out by Wong. Excellent feed across the post. And they're going to say Petrie caught the hands. That is going to be Jasmine McGinnis-Taylor going to the line for 2.
I think that's exactly what Illinois State needs here. Another scoring drought for the Redbirds. They're 1 for their last 8 from the field and haven't scored in 2.5 minutes of game time. So they have a chance here for McGinnis-Taylor. Try and get them back on track and try and get some points on the board.
McGinnis-Taylor from Omaha, Nebraska, sinks the first one. 6'3" junior. Dribbles it here and sinks it. Gets the pair. And that's going to be a quick substitution. Jada Stinson coming in for the Redbirds. Purdue just under 3 minutes, leading at 35-31. Abby Ellis to Terry. Skip pass across to Ellis. Driving in, heaves it up, and draws the foul. She'll be going to the line for 2.
And Abby Ellis, only 4 points today. We saw her scored a little bit in that first half. Hasn't really done much here in the second, but being aggressive there on the drive, drawing the contact. She'll go to the line. Abby Ellis back in the starting lineup today this season and making the most of her minutes in the starting five.
And she's going to get the first one.
Now move ahead in the action.
Abby Ellis and Ricky Woltman. Jayla Smith coming in, feeds it up, and they're going to call that as an offensive foul. That one going to go on Smith. Jayla Smith picking up a foul.
And Deanna Wilson, right place, right time. She has 4 points, 4 rebounds, and drawing that charge. And once Jayla Smith left the ground, her feet come off the ground and bumps right into Wilson, who was set. You can kind of tell that was going to be a charge.
Impressive play and heads-up awareness here by this Illinois State team. Taken inside by Robinson, and she's going to draw the foul, going to the line for 2.
Paige Robinson, 13 points. Not the most efficient day, 6 for 19 shooting, only 1 for 7 from beyond the arc. But doing what she can, trying to score by any means possible. This will be her first trip to the free throw line tonight.
And she's going to sink the first one. Robinson, a native of Bethany, Illinois, gets the second to go. Janae Terry bringing the ball up the court here. Feeds it over to Ellis. Skip pass. Harden, feet set. And gets it to go after a quick bounce off the rim. Finally gets to her first 3 of the day for what her has probably felt like an eternity. And Paige Robinson tries to respond with one of her own, unable to get it to go, but Ricky Woltman wasn't able to bring in that rebound. This is going to be an Illinois State ball under the basket.
A friendly roll there for Cassidy Harden. It's been a tough day, 1 for 5 from the field, all of those from beyond the arc, but finally cashing in and hitting the bottom of the basket.
And ball movement around the outside, feeding in strong post move, unable to get it to go. Offensive rebound and quality post work. Great play in the post by Deanna Wilson again.
Yeah, Wilson fighting, getting scrappy, getting physical down low, getting the rebound, and getting around with the Woltman for the bucket. And now an offensive foul on Purdue.
And Woltman frustrated with that one as Purdue just seems to be losing their footing on this game. 44-41, 8 minutes, 27 seconds to go as Harper's going to check back in. And Illinois State's got the ball in Jada Stinson's hands. Kate Bowman. And we got a foul here on the Boilermakers again. Jayla Smith finds herself in foul trouble.
The turnovers and the fouls are starting to rack up here for Purdue. 15 turnovers and 13 fouls against the Boilermakers.
2 Boilers on the floor with 3 fouls, Smith and Harden. Illinois State with a chance to tie it. Outside, there's Bowman. Ball taken away. Cass Harden running transition. Feeds Ellis. Shot fake. Outside Smith. Feet set. And she sinks another. Jayla Smith extends the Boilermaker lead with that 3.
Jayla Smith has had some cold-blooded moments this year. Another one added to her montage. A big-time 3 for the Boilermakers at the right time.
Working inside Robinson. And no foul called. Purdue's taking it the other way. They've got numbers. 5 on 4. Ellis into the paint. Kicks it out. Terry's open. And Terry wants to slow things down. 2 players on the high post. Now just 1. Harper inside. This is Smith on the perimeter looking to feed it in. No luck. Gets her now. Double team. Skip pass. And Cassidy Harden. No such luck off the rim. Illinois State going the other way. And they're going to look to slow things down a little bit here as well. Never mind. Paige Robinson can't get that one to go, and a rough fall there for Illinois State as Purdue's going to try to produce here on offense with a man advantage. Harper finishes inside, and they extend their lead to 8.
And Coach Gillespie for Illinois State not happy that time was not stopped for Deanna Wilson, who was on the ground and unable to get up for most of that possession there in the backcourt. She is not happy.
And they're going to call a foul here, which is going to send Mary Crompton to the free throw line for 2.
Usually, if the player goes down and is injured and cannot get up and is in immediate danger of being stepped on or trampled on or is right in the middle of the action, then time is for sure stopped. With Deanna Wilson being there in the backcourt, kind of away from the action and eventually getting up and kind of running up to half court, I guess the officials deemed that it was not worthy of play being stopped for.
And I guess my question is, why did Illinois State not go for a foul that would have stopped play there? They've got none so far this quarter. But they cut into that lead with the trip to the free throw line, looking to build here. Purdue leads at 49-43. Ava Learn tries to feed it in, but that one is picked off. Went up onto the top shelf to get it.
Once again, a poor entry pass into the post for Purdue.
I think they've got to try to bring in a bounce pass because they are just reading that like a book over the top. Maya Wong setting up a couple overlapping runs. Robinson. Kate Bowman can't get it to go. Purdue sprinting it back. Ava Learn down low, gets the finish, and one. Excellent turn, finish, and she's going to the line for another.
Well, that's a pass into the post for you. I believe that was Abby Ellis throwing it in. Gets the slap there from McGinnis Taylor. And Ava Learn going to the line to extend this Purdue lead to 9.
And Learn is taking the first free throw of the second half for the Boilermakers. And quick substitution, Tashana Wright-Gaskins going to be brought in. And Purdue taking their sweet time to fill in those other 2 rebounding positions in the lane.
A made free throw for Ava Learn would be Purdue's largest lead of the game at 9.
And there it goes. And Ava Learn, I believe, is 3 for 3 from the free throw line. Out on the perimeter. Here's Paige Robinson. And the floater goes off the glass. Great way to use the window. And the Boilermakers. Janae Terry calling for a screen, feeds it into Harper. And that one was rejected, sent back by Tashana Wright-Gaskins. And here the Gray look for a chance against the Gold. Lets it fly from way beyond the arc, but Mary Crompton can't get it to go. 3-on-3 in transition. Petrie up and under and gets it to go. Late whistle is going to give her an and one opportunity.
Yeah, Laisha Petrie getting it done inside. I think she'll go to the free throw line after this timeout. And she hasn't really been able to do so today. 7 for 23, and only 1 for 8 from behind the arc.
Laisha Petrie here to finish the and one opportunity. And she's got her 12th point of the day. Illinois State down by double digits for the first time today. Ball goes out and well off the mark, off the hands of Mary Crompton. And David, we were addressing it. Her shot selection from beyond the arc has been a little bit questionable in the second half.
Yeah, Mrs. Mary Crompton, some shots, 2 or 3 feet from behind the arc. We know that she has range that can hit those shots. Not when Ava Learns like that right in her face, though.
Ava Learn showing that she can defend positions 1 through 5 there as she blocks a much smaller guard. And Illinois State with 7 seconds here to score. Back to the basket, turn, post fade, and can't get it to go, but offensive rebound. Strong work inside. They're not going to say it's a shooting foul, but Deanna Wilson with a great offensive rebound there. Going to draw the foul on Janae Terry.
Even though this game is on the verge of maybe teetering away from Illinois State, they've still done some great things today, and that includes offensive rebounding. 12 offensive rebounds for the Redbirds. That was their 13th of the day, as opposed to only 6 for the Boilermakers. So a great job on the offensive glass for the Redbirds, but haven't really been able to capitalize off of his offensive rebounds.
Deanna Wilson sunk her first one, and she'll make the pair, cutting this lead down to 8. Just under 4.5 minutes to go. Players on every corner inside. Here's Petrie back to the basket, turns, takes it, and can't get it to go. But Abby Ellis, of all people, inside. They're going to wave the shot off, and it's going to be Purdue basketball. And I guess the big number to watch here as we go down the stretch, David, bonus is something that we have to keep track of. Purdue, 3 fouls against. As there's Petrie, can't get it to go.
If I'm Illinois State, I'm driving and I'm trying to draw a foul every time because the Redbirds have been in the bonus for quite a while now.
As a team also pretty efficient from the free throw line, as they're going to have that ball taken away. Laisha Petrie gets it over into the hands of old reliable captain Janae Terry. Abby Ellis. Caitlin Harper going 5 out here. Harper dives in and sinks it with the strong post finish.
Well, and Charlie, you mentioned it earlier, get a bounce pass into the post. Illinois State has been reading the lob passes, the high passes into Caitlin Harper all afternoon. Finally, a bounce pass inside, and Caitlin Harper converts.
And an impressive defensive stand there, forced a miss and got a block. Abby Ellis able to corral that one in like a shortstop. Dives in and gets the bucket and the finish. And one opportunity for Abby Ellis. I do not know how she found that one.
That's typical vintage acrobatic Abby Ellis. Just flying around, arms flailing, drawing the contact, floating it up, and somehow finding the ball at the bottom of the basket. Abby Ellis, really her specialty, just finding baskets and finding stability in the midst of chaos.
Controlled chaos as she sinks the and one free throw.
There's a method to the Aussies madness.
That there is. She's got 9 today. And here comes Illinois State. Really need to get a basket here. Mary Crompton stretching out the defense. Paige Robinson. This ball's in with Bowman. Crompton lets it fly from way beyond the arc and can't get it to go. That's going to be Purdue basketball.
Once again, just another really tough, really long three. Mary Crompton, we know she's a great three-point shooter, a great scorer in general, and has that range, but those have not been falling for her today. Now 2 for 9 from behind the arc. If you work for a better shot inside.
And Illinois State now going to have to rely heavily on the three, you would assume. Just over 2.5 minutes to go, down 13, as this one is really slipping through their fingertips. Abby Ellis and the Boilermakers running a box-style setup on offense. Ball gets into Terry's hands, and there's movement. Feed inside on the bounce pass. This is Petrie. Dives in. Excellent move, and gets the athletic finish on the reverse layup with the right hand.
Petrie breaking the ankles a little bit with the misdirection. Get inside, and Purdue fully pulling away in this fourth quarter, and a great job in the past couple minutes by Katie Geralds, coaching her team and pulling this one away.
Laisha Petrie thought she had a steal there, but it's a foul, and as we've addressed, the fouls are important here. Going to be 2 free throws coming up for Paige Robinson. And Illinois State after this going to be taking on the Horizon League's Green Bay, then playing conference matchups against Drake, Northern Iowa. Those are all at home. Then they'll hit the road, head out to Missouri State and Southern Illinois down in Carbondale.
And the Redbirds really having a tough time finding consistent scoring here throughout this game. Another scoring drought until that just made bucket by Paige Robinson. They hadn't scored for 2 minutes and 19 seconds before that. They're 1 for their last 11 from the field and 0 of their last 7.
And she sinks the second one, keeping the Purdue lead at 13. Ball coming up the court. Abby Ellis in the same box setup we've seen. Ball hits Terry's hands, and then everyone moves. Terry beyond the arc. Gets the feed, back cut, and beautiful backdoor layup for Cassidy Harden. And Purdue takes a 15-point lead with a minute and a half to go here in the fourth quarter.
Janae Terry doing what she does best, rifling that ball into the cutting Cassidy Harden.
Here's Paige Robinson trying to keep her team in it, and she gets that one to go from about 8 feet out. Abby Ellis and Purdue. Illinois State really needing to put together a string of stops here. Laisha Petrie, and they read the high pass again. Great steal. Jada Stinson kicks it out to the outside, driving in. That's Abby Alsma. Can't get it to go, and Abby Ellis is running away with it. Numbers not in her favor. Now all 5 are set. Over to Petrie. Top of the key to Terry. Ten seconds to go on the shot clock. Ball in Petrie's hands. And that's going to be an offensive foul and a legal screen going to be called on Caitlin Harper.
Purdue now looking all but wrapped up in this matchup. A great job. It was a tough, grinded-out game, but closing it out here in this fourth quarter. And this is a good final tune-up game kind of for the Boilermakers. They're going to be at Texas A&M in College Station on Wednesday before conference play begins with the Iowa Hawkeyes. So a nice chance for Purdue to test some things out and see what's working and what's not before some real tough competition is going to start coming into Mackey Arena.
And for those keeping track, that was an offensive foul that caused that back there on Deanna Wilson. And the Boilermakers going to Texas A&M after dropping out of the Las Vegas Invitational, but still going to be able to play a high-quality opponent before heading into Iowa, which is obviously very tough to beat Iowa at home in Iowa City.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark and the Hawkeyes doing their usual thing. She's putting up scoring like